is a chill in the air. Oops. Why do I have an echo? Hello. Hello. I know why. I was doing karaoke yesterday. I go all in on my karaoke. I actually take the song that I want to play and run it through this AI. And after you run it through the AI, it separates the bass, the guitar, the singing, and one more thing. Bass, guitar, singing, and the drums. And then they're separate. So then I drop the volume down on all vocals. And then I sing along with it. And it's so much fun. And it's always miserable. But I usually really mix it. I take my time and add backing vocals, harmonies, and it sounds like shit. Aram says, I'm guessing Diana rolls her eyes when walking by while he is doing karaoke. You are correct. It's so bad. But in that moment, I think, man, I got it. I've got it. Corey says, what AI do you use? I want to use it for audio drops. I'll link it up in the show notes. And if I don't, because sometimes I say that and then I don't, send me a text. You actually have to subscribe to it. It's a fantastic setup. And the guy who created it made it so that you can try it out the first couple of times. And then you got to sign up on Patreon. He actually has a Patreon. So I actually pay for that just because it's awesome. Really, really great. Big fan. So I busted out some karaoke yesterday. Why did I tell you that? I don't even remember why I brought that up. Oh, it's because I had the effect on my voice for this Tom Petty song called The Damage You've Done off of Let Me Up, I've Had Enough. Fantastic release from Tom Petty. Oh, my God. Just love it. Perhaps, you know what? This is what I'll do. At the end of this podcast, the end of the audio podcast, I will attach that song. So you'll hear the show end, and then you'll hear my Tom Petty karaoke song. I sent it off to a friend of mine, and I said, yeah, it's a little flat on the hook. I think I'm a little flat. And then I'm the type of idiot where in the moment, I'm like, oh, it's great. And then a little time passes, and then I'm like, it's not bad. It's a little flat. And then, I listen to it an hour later. I'm like, oh, this sucks. This sucks. Holy cow. So there you go. Aram says he's offering it up like it's a cool Easter egg. Anything but. It's shit. Make no mistake. But I love the AI. I love the fact that you can just take any song and just drop out a certain portion of it. It's remarkable. I get, from what I understand, what's happening there is the whatever the software does, it interprets those various elements and then recreates it. Any song whatsoever, you name it. Pick any song, any style, Kenny, and I can pull all of those parts out of it. So one of your shit songs, absolutely. So this is what I want you to do. That would actually be quite fun. If we took one of your garbage songs of people screaming, and then I would do that. In fact, that's what I'll do. You give me a song, and then for the Patreon today, one of your those songs, that will be hilarious. Corey says, yeah, you used to do that in Free Beer and Hot Wings. Yeah, there were a couple before AI that the isolated vocals were found. David Lee Roth's "Running with the Devil" was quite a hilarious moment playing that. And then I think there was another one. It was Def Leppard, "Rock of Ages." Oh, I got something to say. It's better to fade out. Wait a minute. Better to burn out than fade away. Rise up, gather round, rock this place to the ground. It's a great song, by the way. That album. Two, High and Dry and Pyromania are fucking great. Those are great fucking albums. Isn't there a song called "Rock Till You Drop" or some shit by Def Leppard? I used to love Def Leppard. I still do. I still do love Def Leppard. I think it's one of the greatest things in the world that they brought the fucking drummer back who got an arm ripped off. I mean, that to me is a outstanding recovery. You lost the one thing you can't lose as a drummer. And he's like, fuck it. It's no big deal. He's just there drumming away. Always worth mentioning that story of my buddy Rick Church backstage at Wendler Arena in Saginaw when it was a meet and greet with Def Leppard. And the drummer, what is the drummer, Rick Allen? Is that his name? And he uses his left leg to compensate for his left arm. And Rick went up to shake hands with him. And he put up he went to shake the hand that he doesn't have anymore. And so he put it up and he goes, oh, and then he put up the right one. I think he started with the left, and then he wasn't sure. He was all fucked up. So, but it doesn't matter. There was a moment where he was like, oh, and then he had to pull the one hand away and put the other one up. It was just ridiculous. My God. Kenny writes, love that Bloodhound Gang song where they say the drummer from Def Leppard only has one arm, over and over and over. So do send me a song, not here. Send me a song on email or text, Kenny, and it's got to be really fucked up so we can really laugh along. Because when you pull all the music down and just have the vocals only of whatever song you're sending me, I would love that. All right. We have Dear Meathead today. Dad joins us in 45 minutes. I have no questions. Not a one. No questions whatsoever. Send along a pithy, short but sweet question with not too many details. Maybe looking for advice on this, that, or the other thing. Whatever you want to ask Dad about. Eric at EricZaneShow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. If you need anything striped, the parking lot, the athletic field, shorelinersstriping.com. All right. So looking forward to that. Yesterday, I was on Who Are These Broadcasts? I don't know if they're naming it Who Are These Broadcasts or Who Are These Broadcasters? This comes to us from the people who made, or the person who made, Who Are These Podcasts? And then they created the show, Who Are These Broadcasters? But it makes sense that it should be, Who Are These Broadcasts? Since it's, Who Are These Podcasts? But, and I think some people busted them about that, but my God, it's Carl, EZ, and Christian Blatt. And, man, it was great fun. We basically review ridiculous things that sports anchors, news anchors, talk show hosts say. It's an offshoot of Who Are These Podcasts, but more rapid fire. Goes about an hour. I posted it on my social media. I'll link it up in the show notes. In theory, always in theory on the show notes. All right. While I'm at it, in fact, I was talking with Dad yesterday, and again, he is, I think he's in this phase now where he's forgetting that he has a degenerative brain disease. All right. Now, this is obviously horrible, but every day is an absolute gift. And to be able to talk to him, and my God, he's just spectacular. So I get him on the phone. He has to start with the obligatory, where are you? I explained to him, I'm driving down the road. Why? Well, I just left the YMCA, and now I'm going home. Why were you at the YMCA? I said, I was getting some exercise. Oh, my God. And then he'll say something like, that's a great analogy. And I'm like, huh? I go, yep, awesome. Yeah, it's great. I love going there. But now I'm going home. He goes, well, how come I can't hear you? You sound muffled. I go, I don't know. It's the same setup that I use every time, Dad. Now, this happens all the time where he'll be talking into the phone, into the handset on this landline while it's still attached to the base and not on speakerphone. So he can hear me, but just barely through the part that you hear on the phone, but it's like away from, he doesn't have it up to his head. I can barely hear you, guy. Okay. Well, is it on speaker? Because this happens all the time. Oh, what the hell? I don't know, guy. Joanne, how do I do this? Okay. And then he says what Tyler just said. He sounds like he's at the bottom of a well. She comes over, pushes a button, and he goes, oh, wow, I didn't know you could do that. This is, okay. His DVR has erased that. Corey says, he's never called you Guy on the show. No, that's true. That's, he used to. That's the impression, though. So that I get him on, and all right, Dad. I just have I don't want to just call him and say, hey, I'm calling you tomorrow, and then hang up. I have a conversation with talking to him for about 10, 15 minutes, and finally he goes, you ready to do the show tomorrow? I go, well, yeah, that's yeah, for sure. I go, is that okay? He goes, well, yeah. He says, show must go on, Guy. Oh my God. And I'm like, well, of course. This is such a part of his life. Oh, my God. Despite Kate suggesting that I use him. Kate suggested, that is the wife of Councilman Paul Creer of Stafford Township, that I use my father. I use him for Dear Meathead. Oh, he was so offended by that. He was actually very, very hurt by that. I wasn't, because it's Kate and she's a crazy bitch, but my dad was, he's like, no, what? No, I love this. If someone took this away from me, I would just be so sad, Guy. Stand by. I got to drink this. Who Cut the Cheese says, who are these podcasts just did the No Please podcast? Now, that's Justin's show. I don't know. Maybe you didn't listen to it. But I was on that show. In fact, I was the one who reached out to Carl. I said, dude, you have to explore the No Please podcast. It's going to be brutal. You're going to beat the shit out of him. And he said, yeah, sure. No, he didn't sound like my dad. He said, absolutely. And then I was on it with him. So that's crazy that you would tell me that WATP just did the No Please podcast. Did you not listen to it? What the hell is wrong with you? Which, by the way, you guys have to go with me to Ferndale, Michigan. We have to take a caravan to the Detroit area for WATP Live. This is going to be so much fun. It is September 15th. I'm trying to get at least 3 of you to go. Amanda says RV trip. I don't think so. No, I don't know. Fuck that. Are you kidding me? Why would I do that? I have, I recently, a year ago, I ended the, we're a little too close group, in my life. Let's keep a nice wall between us, like the wall of your car and my car. No. When you say RV, are you suggesting be in my RV? Fuck that. No. Absolutely not. Anyway, that will be a lot of fun. I'm excited about that. Go to WATP Live if you want tickets. All right. Yesterday, by the way, I mentioned that I went to the YMCA, and I finally had enough. Gone is my ability for now to run with this knee issue, which, by the way, it's ridiculous because I have this ridiculous amount of pain in my right knee, and then the other day my left knee started hurting. I don't know if it's because I'm limping all the time or what, but I'm a fucking mess. But at the same time, I know full well that if I completely stop exercising, and I don't want to just sit around and lift weights. First of all, I can't lift anything. It's embarrassing. But I said, you know what? I need some cardiovascular work. I'm going to get in the pool. Now, I haven't swam in 7 years. I used to swim all the fucking time. All the time. But I haven't gotten in a pool in 7 years. So I'm like, okay. But I've got a plan. I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to do it. And so I went to Strider's, bought a bathing suit. Actually, bought a bathing suit. Now, here's what's interesting. It's a Speedo, but not the type you're thinking of, where it's like a nut hugger. They're called jammers. Almost like the type of shorts you'd see a guy who's pedaling a bicycle. Like they come down to just above my knee, cover my whole thigh. So that's like a swimming bathing suit. I don't want to swim in like something you go like sit around at the beach at. I always have to wear like these jammers. So I go get the pair of jammers, and I got to get a pair of goggles too, swim goggles. Now, when I used to swim, the waist of the jammers was a 30. Now, that's impossible. So I grab 2 pair, and I grab the 32s, but I go, I don't know if that's going to work. I was optimistic. I was like, trying to will myself and into those jammers. So then I got a pair of 34s too, and I walk into the changing room. I go, all right, I'm gonna try on the 32s. And as I'm pulling them over my legs, and it's just like, suffocating me. It was just like still a 20 pounds of sausage in a 5-pound casing. I was like, oh boy, I don't know. And it looks horrible. It looks terrible. The waist portion of the swim trunks are really, really constricting the middle of my body, and my fat is just busting out over it. Oh, so bad. I go, fuck this. I can't do it. So I peeled them off and put on the 34s. All right. Those worked, but that's pretty disheartening. A 30 to a 34. Off I go. Now, so if you happen to go to Strider's and you buy a pair of 32s, there's a good chance that you're going to be getting some of my taint and nut essence on you. Off I go into the pool. Now, my plan is I'm gonna swim freestyle, and I'm going to use the kickboard because the motion of the kicking, it's going to make my knee feel better, and it did. That type of flutter kick that I'm doing, the knee joint is working with a little bit of resistance from the water. It's like a hydrotherapy on it, and that was actually quite effective. But so good news, bad news, because I swam for about 40, 45 minutes. And in that time, back and forth in the pool, I actually was able to manage to swim 1 mile. 33 laps, which this pool is an odd distance. It's like 26.3 yards per length or something like that. But anyway, I was able to get 1 mile of swimming, which is remarkable for me. The kicking, like when I'm kicking with the kickboard, that flutter kick I was telling you about, your legs just going like crazy, like just, going through the water. I've been doing a ton of like squats lately, trying to build up some strength in my legs, and all the running I did before that. There was no fatigue whatsoever while buzzing through the water with just a kickboard. So I do like 100 with the kickboard, back and forth, and then I would swim freestyle. And here's what I noticed. The form is still there. Like, I know how to swim. And there's, believe it or not, sometimes you see people when they swim, they don't know how to swim. Their head's whipping back and forth. Their face is not in the water. It's all fucked up. They look like shit. They're barely moving. They're exhausted after 3 feet. I wasn't much better. Though my form was good, I got one length of the pool, which is, let's just say 25 meters. And I could feel in my shoulders and my back muscles and my shoulder muscles, intense fatigue. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this is bad. It's like learning to, learning to walk, and your muscles are just exhausted after a short distance of walking. Because I'm basically, most of my moving forward in the pool is through my shoulders and the strength of them, which I have none. So I get one length of the pool, and I can tell they already feel like noodles. I go, well, I got to finish a 100, but I've got 75 more to go. So I flip, I kick, I come back the other way, and after 50, I'm like, oh, shit. There's no fucking way. I got to slow way the fuck down. So I do. And now I'm like, I was actually going faster when I was just kicking with the kickboard, which is remarkable. It took me like forever to swim a 100. It was so bad that for the rest of this swim workout, I was just swimming one lap and then one lap back, a 50, and then pausing for 30 seconds just so I could recharge. I get out of that pool, and my arms are shaking. Like, they're so fatigued. And now today, oh my God, lifting my hands above my head, all of this area, all these structures in my shoulder right now are just like, fuck you, you asshole. It's so, there's so much muscle soreness already, and it'll be worse tomorrow, that if I went in there again today and the day after, it's a recipe for tendinitis, which is your body saying, okay, dick, you want to be Michael Phelps? Fuck you. And it fills your shoulder joints with this inflammation that is so painful. That is your body's way of shutting your ass down and letting you know you've done too much. So I already feel that way, and it's awful. God damn. Corey says, Eric takes to the water like a manatee. Stevie says, I'm terrible at swimming because I hate getting my face wet. I was the same way, man. It was bad. Chris says, I just want to eat like Michael Phelps. Here's the thing. When I was done, I was famished. One of the things that I've noticed about swimming is when you put in any type of swim workout, it makes you so damn hungry. So I came home and followed up a wonderful moment of exercising with about 15 Ritz crackers with that type of cheese that has horseradish on it. Awesome. Because Diana had the wine party and the ladies were over. So I was like, oh my God, yes. So I helped them clean up, Pooh Bear points, and then started to pig out on the leftovers. So crackers, and then, fucking A, underrated cereal, and they don't make it in a big enough box. Golden Grams. Man, forget the breakfast-sized bowl. Give me the size bowl that you put like a giant salad for a family of 10. Murdered it. And then washed it all down with a orange creamsicle. A dinner of champions. Fantastic. So then I looked at it like, Jesus, how can you possibly do that? And I'm like, look, Rome wasn't built in a day. All right, I got the exercise in. I did not I ate like a child on the end of the day. So what? I'll try it again today. Megan says Golden Grams with warm milk. Try it. Chris in Maine says, it's just a process of building muscle back. You'll be fine if you keep working on it consistently. Yes, that is true. Chris also adds chicken, broccoli. Yeah, that would be nice. But no, it didn't happen yesterday. Maybe today, but probably not. Tyler asks, are you faster than Blockwoman? The dude from Montgomery Brawl. Shout out Unk with the chair. Hey, bye, I was there. Oh, God, I love that so much. Corey says Eric takes to the water like a manatee. I said that, a.k.a. the sea cow. Consistency is the issue. Yeah, it's true. I'll figure it out. Probably when I'm like 75 years old, I'll figure it out. Quite a difference in the way I live my life. Because, well, it was a little bit easier to get away with eating whatever you wanted when it was triathlon time. Because back then, this was from 2009 to 2016. In that time, I literally was able to eat like Michael Phelps. Because, first of all, on the radio show, all I did was 4 in the door. So I'd be home by 11 a.m. And then, for some sick reason, the rest of my day was spent swimming, biking, running. I used to do these workouts where I would set up my bike on a trainer in my garage. And I would pedal like intense, like zone 5, which means you're breathing like really killing it for like 8 minutes, as hard as you can possibly go. And then then you get off the bike, throw on your running shoes, and 10 seconds later, I'm running out of my garage down the street as fast as I could run for a half mile. Turn around. Quarter mile out, quarter mile back, get home, rest for 1 minute, bike shoes back on, get on the bike and do it again. It's called a brick workout. Oh, fuck. Corey says, one time you showed up to the radio station in your biking suit and the guys were all commenting that they could see your cock outline. Yes, that's true. In fact, yeah, I would have lights on the bike, and that's how I was able to get part of my bike workout in was the 15, 20 miles would take to get to Grand Rapids at like 4:30 in the morning. I remember one time I took a trip. The way I got to work was along the Grand River. It's a road called Indian Mounds. Big mistake because I had these intense spotlights, one on my bike helmet and one actually on the bike. And this is, like I said, along a river and woods for miles. And as I entered this patch of woods along the river, I noticed I could see all these sets of two lights looking back at me as I entered the woods. And I'm like, boy, what? So there I am. I'm pedaling along. And I'm like, what am I seeing here? Oh, it looked like, you know how like when you have your cell phone on the light on the cell phone staring at you? It's like I could see all of them looking at me, like 10 of them. And then I went, motherfuck. Those are eyes. It was wildlife. My lights were lighting up their eyes. And so it was an otter or a fucking beaver, a skunk, a squirrel, a deer. And I'm like, shit, fuck. And this is not good because if you're pedaling along, it's not uncommon for a cyclist to hit wildlife and then you are fucked. Okay? So I had to slow that shit down and let those fuckers scurry away. It was ridiculous. Hello to Rakuki. Rakuki's hockey nickname is Kooks. Hockey nicknames are fantastic. He's known as Kooks. I am known as Zaner. I'm not sure what Tim's hockey name is. I'm guessing it's Timmy. Tim Mayer from Shoreliner Striping. Timmy Kooks Zaner. They're all here enjoying the show. Timmy is Team Shoreliners. Rakuki is Cooks_20, who Crazy Ashley thought that it was like some kind of weirdo and encouraged me to ban him yesterday. Nonsense. She also refers to him as Pretty Jake. Maybe that's because he's so damn handsome. Jesus. Kenny writes Cooks is pronounced Kooks. I think. I mean, his name is Rakuki, unless it's Rakuki. What the fuck is going on here is what I'm asking. Who knows? Anyway, welcome. So, in essence, Jake and Timmy are essentially new subscribers, so welcome in. Tyrese Gibson is a huge asshole. You won't believe this shit. Oh, my God. So, talk about getting wound up over nothing. He walks into the Home Depot, and according to his story, he's buying a bunch of shit because he's working on a project. He has two dudes who work for him at his residence, and he's doing some redoing of the property. So he walks in there, and his story is they're going to buy a bunch of shit. While they're ringing up the stuff, Gibson notices people are looking at him. So he's like, fuck, I got to get the fuck out of here. People are, so just here's my card. and he leaves the store. Well, the guy gives the card to the cashier, and the cashier says, hey, do you have ID for this? The guy says, well, no, it was Tyrese. It was his. And the guy, he doesn't know what the fuck is up. So he says, I'm sorry. If you use a card, you got to have your ID. That's store policy. Sorry. Tyrese is left. Tyrese doesn't like this. He's like, God damn it. What does he do? He calls the store. And he drops, don't you know who I am? To the cashier. He drops, I live next door to your CEO. And he drops, you're doing this because I'm black. Now, the contractor, who's his buddy, who's there at the store, before all that happens, is talking to him on the phone. Tyrese says, hey, man, FaceTime me. I want to talk to the cashier. And so that interaction was recorded between Tyrese and the chick who's working in the customer service desk. And she's not having it. So we're going to break this down. Man, this is bad. This is really bad. This looks terrible on Tyrese because he's dropping all of this shit. And the young lady, she's probably like 24. She's just looking at him. She doesn't freak out or anything. And he takes this recording of the FaceTime and then he posts it and writes, racism. Wait, look at this Karen. And refers to her as a Karen, which is a horrible thing to call someone, especially when you're not being a Karen. In fact, he's being the Karen here. This is awful. Audio check, video check. Let us begin.
Can you please include that information? I was just there. I just walked. I was just in your store, ma'am. If you're going to talk to your manager, tell your manager the truth. I was just in the store and I gave my guys my credit card in front of your staff and team member and I walked off.
By the way, it says, wow, my first racist Karen at Home Depot.
I was just in the store and I gave my guys my credit card in front of your staff and team member, and I walked off. Don't say that I'm not there with no ID. You can pull up the cameras. I was there 5 minutes ago. This is completely unnecessary.
Now, a little bit more background. He just said, well, I gave him my credit card in front of the other store associates. But he did not indicate that he went, hey, this is my card. He's going to use it. Thank you very much. He just assumes that they know, okay? He didn't make it clear. He didn't say anything. He just gave the guy the card and left.
What you're doing right now. I'm not answering what?
So she's on the phone with her manager.
Do you have a pro account?
Do you have a credit account?
Man, should I have the CEO of Home Depot to call you tomorrow? Because he's my neighbor. He's my neighbor in Atlanta. You want me to get the CEO of Home Depot to call you and tell you that this is unnecessary?
So she's being quiet because her manager is talking into the phone, and she's listening to him too. That's why it's kind of awkward right now, but it'll get better.
What you're doing?
Yep, my manager said that's fine.
Okay, tell your manager I was just in the store. Do you want to tell him that part?
He can hear you.
Okay, manager, what is his name?
Carlos?
Carlos. What's his last name?
That's not necessary.
What?
You work in Home Depot. You work in a public place.
I don't know why. I love how she says that's not necessary. That's my favorite.
Asking me for my first and last name, I'm giving it to you, Tyrese Gibson, and those guys are my designers and builders, and I was just in your store 5 minutes ago, and you're on the phone with me asking for ID, and you're talking to the ID. I was just in your store. This is, I understand policy, but you know you're being extra right now.
By the way, if that man came up to me, Tyrese Gibson, I might go, I might have seen you before, but I wouldn't be able to. I don't know who that is. I mean, I've heard the name, but I couldn't even tell you what he does. I read the article, and I guess he was in the Fast and the Furious or some shit like that. Who knows?
Excuse me? This is Tyrese Gibson. I was just in your store.
Store policy.
Okay, what is his last name? Store policy.
I'm not giving you his last name.
Okay, what is your name? What is your name?
My name's Pirelli.
Aurelie?
Yep, Pirelli.
And what's your last name?
I'm not giving you my last name.
I've never heard that before.
Okay, I like your bangs.
Okay.
You have a good night.
So he says something nice. I like your bangs. Okay.
You as well.
All right, Karen.
Okay, now this is the face of the contractor, Manuel. Okay, this is who was facilitating the FaceTime. Now he's going to talk to Manuel.
I'll go back.
Okay, Karen, take care.
I'll take a picture wherever.
He refers to her as Karen, so he insults her.
Thanks, Karen. What time do they close, Manuel?
Or Manuel.
What time? Excuse me. What time you close the store? What time you close the store? 10 o'clock.
I'll be on my way.
All right. So now he's on his way. All right. Thoughts early on. Kenny says he sounds like the Z-Speed guy to me. Corey says employers are not required to give you their last names. He's the dude in House on Haunted Hill. No, that's Tay Diggs. Tyrese Gibson is who that is. Patrick says, what a piece of shit. LOL, like the CEO gives a shit. Can you imagine if Tyrese Gibson actually did that, how much he'd feel like an asshole? Very refreshing says, as an actual Karen, I do not approve of this behavior. Amanda asks, why did he give him the card in front of the chick? Or why didn't he, maybe, she says. I give my card to my daughter to use all the time, and nobody questions it because they didn't see me do it. I have no idea. Then Tyler adds, it's funny, he refers to her as a Karen when he himself is acting like a Karen. Okay, now this gets worse. This is Gibson at the store. Here he is. This is, I guess, Carlos. This is Manuel. Here's another associate, and this is the young lady that he was talking to, and this is Tyrese. So let's get into this.
So educate me about the protocol. I walked up to this.
He says, educate me about the protocol. Well, I would say, well, we already did. Get the fuck out of the store, ass Fast and Furious. But they're all very patient with him.
Gentlemen, I grabbed 2 candy bars.
Got it.
He scanned it.
Yes.
And I said, hey, man, they're going to finish the rest of the transaction. They got my credit card, and I left.
Okay.
I did not pay for my 2 candy bars.
Now, he didn't say that the first time. He just says, I gave my credit card in front of the associates. Here, he's indicating that he said something. So I don't know what to believe.
Up to this gentleman, I grabbed 2 candy bars.
Got it.
He scanned it.
Yes.
And I said, hey, man, they're going to finish the rest of the transaction. They got my credit card, and I left.
Okay.
I did not pay for my 2 candy bars.
But you left the credit card to that person?
With them. I was just here with them, and this man just seen me. He scanned. Hold on, let me finish. He scanned my 2 candy bars, I looked him in his face. They were finishing up the transaction, and I walked out of your store with 2 candy bars, no ID, and I didn't swipe my card to pay for it. And he let me leave. So then, as I left, sir, they're now here to finish the transaction because irregardless of who I am, I don't like getting attention. And I just started seeing people looking, and I was like, let me go ahead and work my way out. They've been coming here and working with me. They work with me. I don't treat anybody less than. I treat everybody with respect.
And you're not, though. You're not treating everybody with respect. You're publishing a thing calling this lady who's just looking at you, answering your questions as best as she can, a Karen and a racist. I like how he says, yeah, these are my workers. These are my guys. I treat everyone with respect. Well, I would expect nothing less. Are you suggesting that because they're workers, because they work for you, because maybe they're migrants, you have to point out that you treat them with respect? I would hope so.
Transaction, because irregardless of who I am, I don't like getting attention. And I just started seeing people looking, and I was like, let me go ahead and work my way out. They've been coming here and working with me. They work with me. I don't treat anybody less than. I treat everybody with respect. They've been working with me for 10 years.
Wow. Well, cool. That is so great. You have employees. That's good for you. That is fantastic. And you treat them all with respect. That is the absolute minimum of human behavior. You have achieved that. Good for you. Why can't these people be afforded the same luxury?
I've been in this store in probably 6 years. So I'm asking the supervisor, who won't give me her last name, what is the store policy that you have in place that you're supposed to implement?
I love how he's spelling out all these simple things that have been covered so much before in the previous interaction. And he's like breaking it down again.
Where I'm able to scan 2 candy bars and walk outside without my ID and without paying for it. And he let me leave. And I'm calling you on FaceTime to say if you have an ID problem and I don't have a pro account, you're looking at me on FaceTime and I'm telling you it's me. And then you're saying the policy is I got to come in here and show my ID. So why did your coworker let me leave with 2 candy bars with no ID and I didn't swipe a credit card? If that's your policy, that's what I'm asking.
I don't know, dude. First of all, did you actually interact with them? Because you've said 2 or 3 different things as to what actually happened. All right?
I don't have a racist bone in my body. And you know you got that racist energy all over you because you're not even willing to apologize, fix it, and point out.
That's racist energy? Just standing there listening to him?
The inconsistencies of what you know and your training and what the policies are. You're wrong. You're wrong, and I want your full name, and I'm going to reach out to the people who own this place, the CEO of Home Depot is my neighbor in Atlanta. Okay? So you won't...
I love her. She's so not impressed with him. This is fantastic. Standing there, not moving with the slight head tilt, letting him shoot his shot like that, and they're just patient. They're looking at him like he's crazy. He must feel like he has to know they're putting him in his place by saying nothing. And even the dude in the background, Manuel can't believe it either. He's like, holy shit, boss is really losing it over this one.
You don't have to give me a name. I'll figure it out. This is wrong. And people should not be treated this way.
What?
And if you got a policy and you reflect the policy of this place, then the policy should be consistent with everybody that works here.
It is, asshole. You're a perfect example of that. Tyrese Gibson needs to show ID. So does Joe Schmo, you fuck.
Okay? You don't care, right? Because you don't. He cares. That's why he came out. You're wrong.
He cares? That's why he came out? He's like, oh, thank God Tyrese Gibson isn't calling me a racist. By the way, I like his pants.
And I came here to tell you you're wrong, and you're not even willing to apologize.
He is suing for $1 million. I'm not kidding you. He actually more than $1 million. The lawsuit states, and I didn't tell you that he's filed a lawsuit, but he has filed a lawsuit of $1 million because he says that's how much money he has spent at the store, and he is also expecting punitive damages. Punitive damages? What damages were caused? Oh, my God. That is awesome. This is incredible. Jesus Christ, the entitlement here on this fuck. Wow. Okay, let me go back to the beginning of when this started to percolate, according to TMZ. Tyrese wants $1 million from Home Depot because he believes the cashier racially profiled him and his whole exchange with her, including a FaceTime call. I love that he's going to go ahead and he's going to, if this does get as far as being in front of, a judge, that the judge will have to, say, I'm sorry, but this is just ridiculous. No, I'm dismissing this with prejudice, which is the judge's way of saying you're an idiot. You've wasted the court's time. You've wasted the time and money of the people with your frivolous bullshit. You entitled fuck. This was filed on Thursday, I guess, of last week. The incident went down, though, back in February, so it's taken some time for this to manifest at this Home Depot. So he's had this amount of time to think about it, and yet he still filed it. You know how, when you do something when you're kind of pissed off, that might be a little rash, but whatever, you were pissed, it happens. But then when you settle, you're like, ooh, okay, I'm going to have to try to unring this bell because I might have been a little too overzealous, might have been too heavy-handed on that deal. I kind of look like a fuck stick. Come on, let's turn this around. No. When you are that wrapped up that you can have plenty of time to calm down and you still say, racism is at work here. And even when there's video of you acting like a twat, and he's so entitled, he's surrounded by people like Manuel there. No one has the nerve to say to him, boss, you look like shit. You look like such a pussy. There is no racism here. This is not a big deal. Size of the problem, Tyrese. This is what my wife tells me. Size of the problem, Eric. Size of the problem. How big is the problem, Eric? I don't want to do it. No, do it. What is the size of the problem? Show me. When she calls me Eric, I know I'm fucked. Eric. Yeah. Size of the problem. No. Size of the problem. I have to hold up 1 inch space between index finger and thumb. I put my hand up. Your reaction. No. Your reaction. And I have to hold up my hands 1.5 yards wide. Your reaction has to match the size of the problem. If not, it's inappropriate. I know. Make your reaction proportionate to the size of the problem. Even an idiot could figure that out. Video shot by Tyrese's team. The actor-singer explains to the cashier he had all I don't need to tell you what the fuck happened. In his lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Tyrese, he and his 2 team members, Eric Mora and Manuel Hernandez, have been in the home on many occasions over the years. Tyrese says he's seeking $1 million because he says that's how much I've spent at Home Depot over his lifetime. And then they add, if that sounds like a lot, keep in mind he made some huge home improvements at his pad he sold last year. Dude built his own Benihana-style grill in the backyard. Let's take a look at that. Look at that thing, man. He's got a Benihana-style grill so that the chef can show up there, and he's got his rich pals can sit around. Look, if you got so much money, you can have a Benihana-style grill in your backyard. I'm telling you, if I have that much money, nothing is going to make me upset. Nothing. Not a thing. I got Dear Meathead. Thank you again, Kenny. That's 2 weeks in a row. If I'm so rich that this happens, I'm like, whatever, I'll be there. I'm just going to tool over in the Lamborghini. You know? In fact, if I'm him and the cashier says, we don't accept, this policy is only in place to keep you blacks in line while she's holding a noose, I wouldn't be upset because I'm a millionaire many times over. What the fuck? Questions for Dad on Dear Meathead. Eric at EricZaneShow.com on the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Oh, no. We have no questions. This is probably going to be a short segment.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm getting him. Just a minute.
Oh, hey, you know what? Let him wake up. I'll call him back.
Okay, just a few minutes.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
No big deal.
Okay, honey.
Okay, darling.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's Joanne. Ashley says, you didn't read my question last week. What did you write? What was the question? Is it one of your lovesick questions? I'm just kidding you. It probably is. When you're in love, that's the only thing you talk about. It happens, you know? Kenny used to do that. He used to send questions about, hey, mate, yeah, hey, so Dear Meathead, I got a question for you. What do you do if you're massively in love, but you're not sure if you should tell her that you're massively in love? I love lovesick Kenny questions. They're my favorite. When is the next Mrs. Kenny going to be on the horizon for the audience? Okay? As we know, Kenny has so much game. Holy shit. It's incredible. He spits game like you wouldn't believe. And so we're just waiting. He might be keeping that close to the vest. He doesn't share as much as he used to because sometimes it gets a little off the rails. All right. So if you have sent a question, I'm going to struggle to find it. So if you have sent one, resend it or send me a new one, please. Eric at EricZaneShow.com. I would appreciate that. So anyway, getting back to Tyrese Gibson. This is such a crock of shit. He also wants punitive damages on top of the $1 million. For its part, Home Depot says diversity and respect for all people are core to who we are. We do not tolerate discrimination in any form. We value Mr. Gibson as a customer. And in the months since this happened, we've reached out to him and his attorneys several times to try to resolve his concerns. We'll continue to do so. It's unclear if Tyrese has discussed his grievances with his Atlanta neighbor. Remember, he said, I could have your boss reach out to you. According to TMZ, they had an update yesterday. If it seems like Tyrese Gibson was more heated than the situation called for, he tells TMZ that there's a good reason he was so upset. Okay? He says, seconds before my interaction with the cashier, I was on the phone with my best friend, Brandy Norwood, to wish her a happy birthday and to console her, as it was also the 11th anniversary of her hero, Whitney Houston's death. So that's why I was allowed to act like an asshole. He actually said that. That is an excuse, and a horrible excuse. There is no excuse. No one knows what you're quote-unquote going through, and no offense, but that's not a big deal. That is not a big deal. Unacceptable, you fuck. He also told TMZ he gave Home Depot, quote, every opportunity in the world to clean this up, and they just refused. So you got to give me $1 million plus punitive damages. Oh, my God. We don't often have the asshole of the day early, but this is the asshole of the year. This is ridiculous. Home Depot, who I believe says, we have reached out to him and will continue to do so, trying to resolve his concerns. But, ladies and gentlemen, go buy something at Home Depot today. Go buy something at Home Depot. And if I'm the neighbor of the guy who owns Home Depot, of Tyrese, I walk out of my mansion. I go over, I knock on the door, I go, Tyrese, I'm here to tell you to go fuck yourself. Okay? What do you think about that, you entitled bitch? What an asshole. Shit. God, I am pissed about this. I hate it when people do this. Ryan says you need 2 assholes today to make up for yesterday. Corey says don't make your issues other people's problem. That's basic human behavior. Yeah, I know it. You're absolutely right, but it's remarkable how people who have wealth and fame feel like they can act like this. It's remarkable. Kenny adds, it's quite simple. Hey, I got these 2 candy bars, and my employees here were going to complete the checkout. I thought the cashier understood this, but no worries. I'll try to be more clear next time. I'm here now, so can we complete our purchases? Thanks. That behavior does not equate to TMZ being involved, nor a lawsuit. Precisely. My God. Megan says, Home Depot owner, quote, keep my name out your fucking mouth. Will Smith and Jessica Garrett, 2 famous individuals, have said that. Arkside, keep my name out your mouth. Ryan says, I'm going to go back to saying, let's let Judge Judy preside over this case. She'll rule that he has to pay Home Depot and all the workers $1 million each. Okay, I'm going to get to Dad in a second. I do have to go tinkle. Allowing him to get up, get moving, get the blood flowing. He's sleeping in a little bit, buys us some time. If you have a question, Eric at ericzaneshow.com. Look at Don O. Look at Brian in Jersey. Ashley. She says, yes, it's a lovesick one. So? Well, no, that's good. It says, Meathead. How did you know Mrs. Meathead was the one? That's actually very good because he'll then get all sweet on us and tell us, how did you know Joanne was the one? All right. You know, Ashley is a customer of the Eric Zane Sex Agent services. And I finally got it to work between her and Timmy. All right. Before I do anything else, though, it's basically now I'm letting the audience listen to half the show, it seems. I'll kick everybody on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube out, I think. But I don't know if I can right now because my toggle switches aren't working. So maybe you'll just get the whole show. But nevertheless, join me on Twitch every day live, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Thank you so much. I have a Patreon. It's free for 7 days. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I put a lot of time and energy in it. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. One of the many ways I'm able to, keep this racket going. So if you like my free podcast, do please consider signing up for 7 days free on Patreon. I think you'll like it, and then I'm hoping you'll stick with it. By the way, I've got some bad news for you. I had talked to you about a fraudulent Wednesday with Who Are These Justins today, and then the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, but I have screwed up. I am double booked. I am appearing at the John Ball Zoo today, hosting a Gift of Life get-together with kidney donors and organ donors throughout the West Michigan community who have been recipients of the Gift of Life and things like that. And I host it. Obviously, I've got a connection to them. But I'm double booked. So those Patreon things, I'm so sorry. I apologize for that. I feel horrible about it. But I have to punt to next week for those things because then tomorrow I'm leaving to head up north with the Queen of the Forest and the NFK with us on a trip up there. And I'll be back, believe it or not, Monday afternoon. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do podcast related. One way or another, you'll have material. But anyway, the big reason why I'm talking about that is because today it's not going to be a fraudulent Wednesday. And I apologize for that. Anyway, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Sign up for free for 7 days. Try it out. You do need to put a payment form in there. But no big deal. If you cancel it before the 7 days, it's fine. And it's easy to do. Just say, fuck you. There's actually a button that says, fuck you, Eric. But if you like it, just let it ride, and it'll charge you the $5 or $10 that you want to sign up for. You do need to put a payment form in there and cancel it at any time. When you cancel it, you still get the 7 days. It's completely foolproof, so no bitching. Okay? Patreon.com/Eric Zane. And then the audio podcast, wherever you download shows. Eric, just search Eric Zane Show on Apple Podcasts. What's it called? Spotify. And any of the other ones. There's about 1 billion of them. On all of them. The open and live stream of today's show is brought to you by Serra Honda Granville. SERRA. Visit them along Kennewa Avenue in Granville, Michigan, and test drive a new vehicle. My son-in-law, Justin, did this about a month ago. He test drove a 2024 CRV, and then he bought it. 2 weeks later, it showed up brand new, 0 miles, prepped, gassed up, ready to go. SarahHondaGranville.com. You can also visit and check out Michigan's largest certified pre-owned collection of vehicles in the entire state at Serra Honda Granville. That way, if you drive in and check out the inventory today, you can drive out today. Otherwise, the way the car industry works now, new cars, is you literally have to order your car like you're ordering a Big Mac, and then they will make it for you. I guess that's not really the McDonald's model. That would be more like the Bosco's Pub model. Serra Honda Granville. King's Room Barbershop. Okay, so there's 3 locations of King's Room Barbershop. You can see all this at kingsroom.net. This is a brand new sponsor. Now, it says here on their website, we're moving out of Rogers Plaza. New address and moving date coming soon. I have the address. So if you've been going to the Rogers Plaza King's Room, August is the last month now that you can get your hair cut at King's Room in Rogers Plaza. Then they're going to be at 821 36th Street, also in Wyoming, 5 minutes away, next to the costume room. It'll be early September when that happens, when they start taking customers there. You can also go to the Northland Drive, King's Room Barbershop, and the Caledonia King's Room Barbershop. So you go to kingsroom.net, locations, and there you go. Hours, everything, all there. Monday through Saturday, closed Sunday on all of these. Great hours, 9 a.m., 7 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. In addition, when you go there, let's say you got a favorite stylist. You click on schedules and you see when they work. Okay? It's all spelled out here for you. Reviews, I got a bunch of those. Everybody loves them. Gallery, what's on the gallery? Okay, now, this is Andy Skyver, and this is Colleen, his lovely better half. All right? They're the best. I love them. You can buy all this shit when you're there. Look at it. You can buy all these products. They're awesome. They are like the folks that do all the hair cutting for Pop Evil. All the hairstyling for the band Pop Evil. They're very close to them. They've been friends for years. How much does it cost? A regular men's haircut is $19, includes shampoo, style, and neck super shaver. Excludes whole head super shaver, beards, long hair, and more. Military. Service men's haircut, $16. Military, police department, and fire department. You might even be able to pull something off if you're an EMT or a paramedic. Boys cut, 10 years old and under, $16. Buzz cut, same guard, whole head, $14. Super shaver, $21. Camo color, $40. Lineup without a haircut, $8. Beard, free hand sculpted, $12+. Same guard, $10+. Awesome. King's Room Barbershop. Back to school sale ends August 22. 20% off all products with a haircut. Awesome. You want to work for them? Click where it says join our team. I love King's Room Barbershop. Thank you so much to Colleen and Andy. When you go there, please mention my name. And when you mention it to your stylist, can you see if it's not Andy or Colleen cutting your hair, because they do cut hair. They're the OGs. Can you tell your stylist, please tell Andy or Colleen, Eric Zane sent me. King's Room Barbershop, kingsroom.net. Thank you. All right. I got to go tinkle. I'll be right back. All right, I've been podcasting for going on 5 years. And one of my favorite things of all time is the fact that HelloFresh is part of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Now, let me get to the chase here. Cut to the chase. No one says get to the chase. Let me cut to the chase here. You're going to end up going to HelloFresh.com/Zane50. And then you'll also use the code Zane50 for 50% off plus free shipping. I'm telling you, man, oh my God. This amazing, amazing product is delivered right to your door. The cold stuff stays cold, and everything else is sent to you in pre-portioned packages so that you can cut down on all the extra garbage that you would have to buy if you were making these amazing recipes from buying stuff at the grocery store. And then it's just incredible, the stuff that you can make. Make your home the hangout place all summer long with crowd-pleasing eats. From a backyard bratwurst bar to tangy key lime pie. Can you imagine making key lime pie? HelloFresh Market makes summer entertaining a cinch. HelloFresh, take a bite out of summer from chef-crafted seasonal recipes to their new fresh and fit summer menu. HelloFresh brings flavor right to your door. One of my favorite things is when you plate the food and whoever you're serving it to is like, what the heck? Did you do this? Did you buy this? No, I made it. It's HelloFresh. And you do it all in the comfort of your home, featuring quality proteins, fresh produce, and plans for many lifestyles. It's no wonder why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Go to HelloFresh.com/Zane50 and use promo code Zane50, Zane50 for 50% off plus free shipping. Once again, HelloFresh.com/Zane50 and then use the code Zane50 for 50% off plus free shipping. EZ loves HelloFresh. Bring Dad in for Dear Meathead. Amanda, every time the show starts, there's a set of rules, and one of them says avoid rapid fire responses. God. Every like a couple of weeks, I got to remind you, it's pump the brakes. Can you maybe just pump the brakes? I understand you're having conversations, but just I'm not just talking about now. In general, this is like the 5th time today. It's just now that I'm mentioning it. Always remind yourself. Do I need to put these 8 million fucking comments up here? Remember, you're perpetually on probation. You are never not on probation. Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, sorry about that delay.
Oh, hey, that's okay. That's okay. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Welcome in. It's good to hear your voice.
Thank you very much.
So, you slept in a little bit, huh?
I was just sitting here and dozed off, I guess, I was awake out of my bed. I was downstairs.
Oh, okay. Well, are you awake? I mean, I don't want to keep. I mean, if you want to go sleep some more, you can.
No. I'm wide awake now.
Okay, that's good. So, all right, here we go on another edition of Dear Meathead.
All right. Anyway, sorry for the whole delay.
Hey, no worries. Okay. So I'm excited to ask you questions. I got a number of people who are checking in, and one person in particular who I think is in love with a guy that she's dating. She wants to know, Dear Meathead, how did you know that Joanne was the one?
Jeez, that's an old time story.
Yeah, I mean, how did you know that you were like, oh my God, I need to spend the rest of my life with her?
I really could not respond to that. I don't know how it went.
Well, I think you got to be. I think you got to be creative about it. I mean, because she's sitting right there, you got to say something like, "Well, all she did was make me happy and make me smile, and I, she was everything I wanted in a woman." Yeah, you got to like put some effort into it.
Oh, Eric, will you marry me?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that.
Oh.
I just can't.
Joanne, how did you know that my dad?
How did you know?
Yeah, Joanne, how did you know that my dad was the man, or was the one you wanted to spend the rest of your life with?
It took me about 3 months, but
It took a little time.
yeah.
Oh, I love that.
But he was funny, and I liked that about him.
Yeah, that I remember her telling.
Everybody needs a sense of humor.
I've heard that a lot. That I mean, obviously, I couldn't tell you what is appealing about a man. I mean, some people can. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of women have said that if a guy can just make them laugh, that makes them happy. So that's a big thing.
It sure is.
Wow.
problems in the world. If you can't laugh at a few things, and you're going to have a problem.
Joanna loves to laugh. I'll tell you that.
We know that.
She has a great laugh.
That's awesome. Yes, she does. And everybody's always commenting about it. So we love to hear her laugh. So you guys are a match made in heaven.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Kenny writes, Dear Meathead, have you ever had a problem? What are your thoughts on when you go to a store and you buy something and the cat you end up getting into an argument with the cashier about something? What is the best way to handle those moments?
Actually, I've never had that situation that I can remember, But the one thing I do know for sure, if something that you know is going to go south, walk away.
Wait.
Really, if it's a big ticket item, walk away.
Now, I think Joanne's laughing.
Let me finish this up. I'm Mr. Awesome, people.
Wait.
I'm really, like a couple of guys that cocked them or something,
Yeah, I think she's laughing because you actually do the opposite.
Yeah, I know, but this is now talking. That's then. I don't have that stamina that I had then.
Okay. So.
Well, you got your answer from Joanne.
Yeah. So, are you suggesting that it's stamina that's keeping you from that's making you behave appropriately? That if you had the stamina, you just punch him in the mouth?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I had an issue like that. I remember one issue.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Says he quit drinking, though.
Okay. All right. Got it. Well, there you go. If you don't have the stamina, your advice is don't punch him in the face. And if you have the stamina, go for it.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. All right. Fantastic. That's very, very good. I like that.
Oh, boy. I'm in it now.
Yeah. Don has a question that I know that you have a great degree of input on. It's about raking up leaves. He wants to know, when the time is right, should I bag them or should I just chop them up with the lawnmower?
No, you can. If you want to get rid of it, well, you better bag them.
Okay, that's what Don's wife says. Don's wife says, "Hey, I want you to bag them," and he's like, "I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work. What do you do?"
He chops them up with a lawnmower and throws them in the container.
Okay.
Joanne says I chop them up in a lawnmower and then throw them in a container.
Have you ever been like in the yard when it's all done, and then the next day, in the middle of the property, like 50 feet away, you see one leaf and you go walk out there and pick it up?
Yes, he would.
I would. I would.
All right, that's good. Brian writes, Dear Meathead.
Hi, Ryan.
He says, my friend Derek had a falling out with some old friends, or acquaintances, we should say. It's been a year, and the old acquaintances are still talking trash about him. What should he do?
Well, I have a question for him. First of all, you talk trash about him, but what does it get you?
Well, yeah,
What does it get you?
Yeah, exactly. I think that the guy's just getting satisfaction by calling them losers.
What satisfaction is there? Satisfaction to me is when you went to the store, somebody gave you a $100 bill.
That's satisfying for sure.
Hey.
But what about punching that guy in the mouth? Is that satisfying?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you're saying that if someone's beating you up and saying bad things about you, beating you up figuratively, you should just not say anything back?
Well, this is now talking, okay?
Yeah, okay.
If someone talks bad about me, he must have a reason for doing that.
Yeah, make himself feel important.
Yeah, I agree with that.
To what Joanne said.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I ever had any issues like that.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe I did. Maybe I don't. I have no recollection of it. I make friends very easily.
I agree with you. I'm similar. I make friends very easily, but I make enemies easily too. And the only difference is I'm still full of P and V, because when someone says something bad about me, I cannot resist, and I have to say something back.
Guess what I was thinking about this morning?
What?
I recall an issue that you had with somebody that I was walking with a cane, and you took him on, walked up nose to nose, and I stood there and watched you.
Well, he said, as soon as he said something bad about Diana, that's when I was like, all
Diana,
right. As soon as you can say something bad about me, but now you're going to talk about my wife. Well, all right, now we got to go.
Yeah, it's not. I never want to have a fight anymore. I mean, fight days are over. I mean, that's unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, you tried to take that guy.
Well, I thought you were going to hit him with the cane.
Yeah, I had a cane or something, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You said, hey, because you're the one who said, hey, we don't need the lecture.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
As soon as I said it, I was like, uh-oh, it's on. It's on.
Yeah, I would have taken him on.
Oh, my God. All right. There we go. That was Brian. Okay, Nathan has a question, Dad.
Is this Nathan?
Yeah.
You know, I love that name.
I do, too.
Nathan.
He says, Dear Meathead, I've been with my wife for 13 years. And he's being kind
Bless your heart.
And he's being kind of funny, but he says, I'm starting to think she actually likes me. And then
What?
I think he's being silly, but then he says, but I've been wrong before. Is there a way to tell for sure?
Wow. No. I mean,
well, I would say if she doesn't want to spend any time with you, then she probably doesn't.
Right.
well, yeah, I don't get it. I mean, love is a strange thing, you know. I said there's only two things you can do with that. It's either love or hate. If you hate, get away from it.
All right, let me write this down. If you hate, get away from it.
Yeah, you don't need to be together anymore.
All right.
I mean, if it's all right, if it's a momentary, I hate you, you know. But I don't think I ever use that analogy. I mean, God, I would never say that to my wife.
No, of course not. All right.
No. Well, did you hear what she said?
What did she say?
She says, yeah.
I wouldn't live to tell about it.
Oh, yeah.
I would. Yeah, you heard that.
Absolutely. All right.
No.
Let's see. Moving on. Next question. Stevie writes, hello, Ruben.
Hello, Stevie.
She says, my friend recently started dating a terrific guy. This question came up. We'd like your input. How long should you date someone before leaving, she writes, toiletries at their house? I'm not sure. I guess she's talking about like feminine products or something like that. I'm not sure if that's what she means.
I don't know.
or if she means actually like going poo at their house. I'm not sure. But how long should you date someone before leaving toiletries at their house?
I would tell them in the very first 25 seconds. That's my opinion.
Well, okay, let's say maybe you're dating someone and you start leaving like your shaving cream and your deodorant there, implying that you're going to be there for like a kind of a duration of time more than one day. I think that's what she's asking.
You dated for 2 years and you never left your toiletries away.
No, I mean, that kind of stuff is up to you.
Yeah.
If it's a usable item you use, you get rid of it.
No.
You know.
Yeah, I think the suggestion is
I'm misleading myself. I don't know.
yeah. Well, I think the suggestion was more based on cohabitating. But all right, that actually makes sense too. And I like the old school 2 years before you left anything. Oh my God, it's fantastic.
Oh, 2 years we got married.
Married.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's see if there's anything else here. All right. Have you guys ever seen any of the Fast and Furious movies?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I don't recall what the details are.
Joanne, do you know that black guy, Tyrese Gibson?
Yes.
Okay. There's a crazy video of him having a temper tantrum at Home Depot.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Depot.
Yeah, we were just watching it. He was buying a bunch of stuff, and he had his one of his pals was there, and Gibson left the store because he didn't want to be there anymore, and he gave his credit card to his pal, and then they wouldn't take the credit card because he wasn't there. They said, "You got to be here to use the credit card." And
Makes sense.
which
I never heard of that.
Well, I mean,
they it's like, hey, is this you? They want to make sure it's you,
I know that's good, but I never heard of anybody actually doing it.
So then they did it, and then he got so mad at that he accused them of being racist.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
They were just doing what they're supposed to be doing, but nobody ever does it.
pretty much.
yeah, right.
Okay. Well, what's the rest of the day for you guys? Are you just hanging out, pick up a leaf or two? What's happening?
We're mowing this acre of land.
Oh my gosh.
So,
She's put me through torture.
now wait a minute. Now, Joanne, you end up using that riding mower, right?
Yeah, I got a John Deere tractor.
All right. And Dad, what's your job?
He mows around where we sit with a push mower.
Okay.
An old junky one because he wrecked a brand new one.
Yeah. Hey, keep your hands away from the blades, okay?
Oh, hey. That I watch myself.
All right. I'm going to just review a couple of things you said. Quote, I actually cold-cocked a guy. You said stamina is keeping you from cold-cocking anyone anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Included in today's comments, if you hate, get away from it. And finally,
That's right.
It's all right if there's a momentary hate you.
Yeah. That's ironic you brought the subject up because in my semi-dreams early this morning, I get up usually and come downstairs. I sit there on the couch and I ponder.
Yeah.
I was pondering about that.
Wait a minute, you were pondering about hating people?
Yeah.
Well, who would you be hating?
I don't know. I had nobody in mind, but this was going on through my mind.
Wow. That's very interesting. But
That's weird.
I remember when we were up north last time, I had to walk in to say goodbye to you, and I actually...
Let me... that involves you. Excuse me. You were taking a guy on.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say that.
That's the one.
I thought you were about to say that you hated me.
No. You were nose to nose with this guy.
Yep. We remember that. All right, Dad. Well, Joanne, Dad, I love you guys so much. Everybody loves you. Thank you once again for joining us on Dear Meathead, okay?
I love you back, honey, and stay healthy and cool.
You too.
Okay.
And my honey, What are you going to do? You love him? She loves you.
Yep. Yes, she does. Thank you, Dad. Okay, guys. You have a good one, okay? All right. Yes, ma'am, I will. Okay, bye-bye, guys. There you go. Dear Meathead, again, always a success. High point on the week, typically, and just fantastic. Kenny writes, or Sean, wait a minute, what the fuck? I don't know what's going on. Possible ban evader. Hi, Meathead, from the kid who FaceTime you Saturday with Cole. Oh, that's not a ban evader. I know who that is. How do I unrestrict that? Okay. Stop restricting. Okay. Get this. I was talking about this earlier. What is that young man's name? He's 14 years old. I told you this story. I was at the racetrack at Berlin. Ben. All right, this is great. I'm so glad you're here, Ben. I got a text from Coleman Lutz. Part of the Coleman Nuts is what I was about to say. Coleman Lutz network of exes. And he said, yo, I'm with my neighbor's son, and he wants to talk to you on FaceTime. So I go, oh, my God, let's do this. So I called him, and I see him, and I meet him, and he got a little shy, and his dad was there, and Coleman was there, and it was a nice conversation. And, I'm understanding that Ben is, loves Meathead. And he's like, oh, my God, I love Meathead. And he enjoys the segment so much. And then I was like, hey, I'm at the track right now, but I'm going to be there here again in 1 month. And you all would love this because Cole's kind of like a hillbilly. So I'm just assuming and probably correct that he does love stuff like this, things that go vroom, vroom. And that's his neighbor, and his neighbor's probably a hillbilly too, which means he would love that. I go, why don't you all be my guest here at the track, and then we can go walk around the pits and hang out with the drivers and say hi to them and see the cars and all that good stuff. Are you up for that? And they're like, oh my God, yes. So it's a date. That is coming up on September 9 at Berlin Raceway. And in fact, we're going to be seated there in the grandstand, and you can join us. So it'll be Ben, Coleman, Ben's dad, and whoever else they bring. I said, bring the whole family. I don't give a shit. And then I said to Ben's dad, I go, you let him listen to this, the things I say, and the dad goes, I'm a terrible father. I'm like, yes, you are. Ben, you got to listen to me. Mr. Eric says lots of bad words, as you know. And under no circumstances, this is a mistake by your father, by the way, because I say horrible things. Okay? I want you to be aware of this. It is not okay to say these things at school or to anyone else. Okay? Since dad is not policing this, I have to police me. I am not going to stop talking like a jackass, Ben. All right? But since you are with adults and we are talking adult things and your dumbass dad will not police this, this is a huge mistake. This is a 17 and over show. All right? Megan says, my kids know Mr. Eric is a good guy with a terrible mouth, just like their mother. Oh, okay. All right. Now, there's some wiggle room here. I get it. Maureen says, my husband doesn't like Mr. Eric's bad words either. LOL, LOL. Yeah, it's not for everybody. It is not for everybody. I make no bones about it. But the only way you're going to get me to be me is I'm just going to let it fly. And then that's it. And I just let the chips fall as they may. So, Ben, Again, getting back to you. Don't ever repeat any of this shit, Ben. But I'm going to talk to you like an adult. You're not, but what the fuck? We're going to have to be buddies, and that's it. So you are my guest, and we are friends for life. I love that you love my father. I wish I could bring him, but, Dad's very, very old. He's almost 90, and he's going to be 90 in 2024, and he's far away. Otherwise, I would bring him, and you two could sit next to each other. All right. Welcome, Ben. I'm so happy. I don't know why it thought that you were a person trying to ban or evade a banning. That doesn't make any sense. Well, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Kind of. I mean, I like that you're here, but it's just weird because I say some really bad stuff, Ben. I talk about bodily secretions and things like that. It's awful. My God. You got to promise me, Ben. You got to type this out right now, Ben, that you are not going to use any of these words around adults or any students, nothing like that, because you're going to get shit canned out of school, and we can't have that. Dad says he's going into high school this year. He's going to hear worse. Yeah, I know, but it's just weird. Ryan says, how's it different than watching South Park? You're right. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. What is Dad's name? Dad, can you give me your name? The young man's name is Ben. What is Dad's name? Matt. All right. Pals. Boom. For life. I love you. I love your son. Rocky Johnson, who's like one of the sweetest people. I'm sure that's not your real name. Says, what is up, Eric? Good morning. Hope your morning is going great. Well, thank you. You're very kind. Tyler says, I'm thinking about the terrible things Eric has said now. LOL. Does he know what eating ass is now? Yeah, this is what you got to do, Matt. Make sure that Ben can hear this right now. Put the phone right up to him. I'm going to tell him something that he needs to hear. Since you are diving full in with me making these comments, we need to tell him this right now. Is he there? Good. You need to tell him. Or I'm telling him, Ben, I eat ass. No, I mean, seriously, I actually put my mouth right on where the poop comes out. That's called eating ass, Ben. And I eat ass. But there's not poop there, but you need to know that that's what that is. It's called, Matt says he left the room. Tyler says, for fuck's sake, hell of a time to join. Jimmy asks, whose ass? All right. Lots of hilarious comments. All right. My God, where has this show gone? I haven't even updated you on fuckface Blindside. That fat bastard Michael Orr. I am not on Team Michael Orr. I am Team Toohey Family, which I can't get over how those people spell their name. Thohy is Toohey. It should be TWO-EE. I'm going to save that for the Patreon. You need to join the Patreon for free for 7 days. Again, I'm skipping Fraudulent Wednesday because I'm double booked. I'm sorry. Where I live, there's a couple of gigantic dams. One is called Hardy and one is called Croton. The dams, I think, are used for electricity and fresh water. The reservoirs that they create, I'm not sure on that entirely, but Hardy is bigger than Croton. If the Hardy Dam were to rupture, it would be unbelievable devastation for a good portion of yesterday. Many people thought it had been destroyed, and the water that was coming to the community next to it was going to kill everyone. The warning that went out said, this is not survivable. Like, if you're in the way of it, you're dead. I mean, it actually said in the warning, this is not survivable. It was splashed across the TV. What happened there? What's going on? I'll explain on the Patreon. One of the audience members even reached out to me and said, oh my God, the Hardy Dam is destroyed. And I'm like, what? I also have the incident that the Maui fire started, like the actual incident that started the fire. I was seeing on one Facebook post that one of these MAGA losers suggested it was a laser from space and is serious, that it was intentionally set by Joe Biden. Joe Biden set the fire. What the fuck? All right. You guys have been so much fun today. Even Amanda. My thing with Amanda is, you're like, what, Easy, what's going on? Is she enjoys attempting to have conversations with me. Rather than a comment or a joke, it's like she's expecting a back and forth. And I'm like, it says in the rules, when I start the show, it says avoid rapid fire multiple posts because it makes it more difficult for me to engage other people. And if you have a story or something that I have to know about, just email it. It actually says that in the rules. And every handful of days or weeks or months, I have to express to her, can you please pump the brakes? While I'm telling her that, she starts to respond to me as to why she's doing it. She actually writes what she's doing. It's like, when in doubt, stop. Just stop. Stop typing and sending. We need less of you and more of me. This is not the Amanda Show. It's the Eric Show. Relax. We don't need to have a conversation. Dream about Kenny putting it to you in your butt. Megan says, are there really rules? Yeah, there are. Very simple. Things like that. Do I have to follow them since we sponsor Twitch? No. No, you sure don't. You do not have to. You give me money. Kenny says only first timers are shown the rules. Tyler says, yeah, those rules don't pop up every time. Aram says Amanda is a reformed Zaniac. She is trying, though. Yeah, she still has those Zaniac tendencies of attention seeking. And she actually still is a former Zaniac. She likes to, split her time between the two. Like if I say something on here, they're going to know about it because she's going to run over there and say, "Oh my God, you won't believe this. What an asshole." That's okay. I don't mind. I appreciate you. All right. Tyler says she's a double agent. And I get it. I mean, I have double agents over there too. I appreciate the double agents. That we need the double agentry to be able to make the dialogue between us. I mean, if we didn't have a double agent with us, we couldn't have had yesterday's Jamingo beat up. We couldn't have had the 2-hour takedown of that asshole show. I'm serious about this. I will fight any member of the Boomer Bunker, including Kate, and I will also fight any former Zaniac. If anyone wants to schedule some type of MMA event, I will participate. I will fight any member of them. We have a comment. Did you hear how racist they were on Monday? Holy shit. Now, when you say that, do you mean like on the Castaways United page or on the Boomer Bunker show? And I didn't know the Boomer Bunker was on Mondays. I thought it was a Wednesday show. I mean, I don't know. Can you get specific and maybe couch it so that you don't get yourself in trouble as to the level of the racism? Please include that. I love talking about how racist those people are. I love it. It's fantastic for you to see. If you could maybe encapsulate it, I would love that. I'm intentionally not saying your name. Before we get to that, if we even get to that, let me just say, God bless Jacob Bennett. What was Bennett Flooring Installation is now Excellent Installation. 616-318-0167. That's 616-318-0167. If you need flooring installed in your home, whatever it is, have Excellent Installation install it for you. So buy the flooring in advance, whatever it may be, vinyl plank, carpeting, hardwood, tile, laminate, ceramic, you name it. And then call Excellent Installation to install it. I think one of the most daunting things for a person like me is the idea of installing my own flooring. You got one shot to get it right. Don't fuck it up, man. It's going to look stupid when you do it. And your wife's going to hate you, and you're going to have Excellent Installation come in and unring your bell of shitty flooring install. 616-318-0167. Much love for the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. 231-332-6505. Thank you so much to them. They are fantastic all across the U.S. If you need a mortgage, get it from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Now, truth be told, mortgage rates are about 5% higher than what they were a year and a half ago. But you need a home. It's still better than paying off some slumlord. So whether it's your first mortgage or your 10th mortgage, you're getting a $500,000 home or a $150,000 home, reach out to Mario today to get that mortgage. 231-332-6505. I talked about Berlin Raceway earlier. There is racing this weekend. BerlinRaceway.com. Tickets are $14 when you buy them online. Bring the whole family, 15 and under free. So mom and dad, you're paying for your ticket, but the kids under 15 are free. The parking is free. You can even bring all the kids' snacks in a bag or a cooler and all of your soft drinks. No glass, no alcohol, but seriously, think about it. You're going to get an entire evening worth of fun at Berlin Raceway, and the price is unbelievably low to keep your family engaged and having a great time, getting out of the house and doing something awesome. This Saturday, racing at Berlin. Thank you to A&E Heating and Cooling for going out to my son's house on such short notice. 616-516-8579. When you need any service done, in fact, I owe Joe money. I owe him like $130 for a service call the other day. He had to come out and take care of me. I'm like, okay, the extent of my knowledge on AC units is, okay, it's not cooling the house. It's not turning on. What is wrong? I go down, I take off the front panel, and I stare at it. And I go, wow, that's cool. And then I put the front panel back on, and I call Joe. I go, dude, it won't work. Come see me, please. He comes. He says, ay, you blew a fuse. He put the new fuse in. Thank you. Good to go. Love it. 616-516-8579 for A&E Heating and Cooling. Megan says what she wants because she's a boss here on the podcast. Sponsors our Twitch stream, sponsors my Facebook page, sponsors the show. 616-532-6600 for Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. Irvines.com. That's ER Vines. ER Vines. Check them out online. Look at the amazing Google reviews whenever I have a problem with any of our vehicles, whether it's the 2023 Accord or the 2003 Chevy Silverado pickup truck. We take our cars to Irvine's. Okay? If you, when you take it there and they have to repair it, they don't leave you in the lurch. They give you a free car to borrow. So you can go about your day doing your job with no interruption of, wondering how the hell you're going to get to work or having to have someone cart you all over town, for God's sake. 616-532-6600. Thank you. That was 5 sponsors in a row because I backloaded the show today. All right. Ashley says, we got to get an Audi guy over there, Megs, or I need a new car. Megan says, we work on Audi. Or Audi. Ashley says, what? Ashley says, your website doesn't have Audi. Are you kidding me? Schedule immediately. Megan says, he loves VW and Audi. So we're starting to take them in on a case-by-case basis for now. I guess they have a tech who does it. Yes, calling now. Perfect. All right. Lots of racist terms on the Boomer Bunker Monday. I will review, and we can discuss them. Many, many, many. Chris says Kate was the only one trying to keep them in check, to be fair. She should not be on that show. She's making a huge mistake. People know who she is. That's not good. If you are on that show, like if I'm doing a show and like if my dad started saying racist shit, my dad would not be on the show. You cannot be part of that. We used to have a guy that I had on the show. I called him the Voice of America. It was some guy up north, and I would have him on, and he started to say anti-gay shit or something like that, or racist shit, and I was like, oh God, this is bad, and I was thinking that okay, well that's enough, and then Jeremy even came out, Rainbow Flag Jeremy says, dude, if you don't stop with that guy, we're gone. I go, you're right. My mistake. It was ridiculous. She should not be on that show. If you don't leave it, you are complicit and just as responsible. So there you go. TC Paintball brings you the asshole of the day. It is brought to you by TC Paintball, and it's Tyrese Gibson, of course. Congratulations, Tyrese. We need 2 because I didn't have one yesterday. So Amanda gets it for continuous rule violation. All right. Linda says they do work on Mercedes, too. That's me being subtle, LOL. Let's see. Because Aram said, is that a subtle way Ashley is telling everyone she has an Audi? She writes, no, I can't find a service person, assholes. Ryan says, Eric, not only are you Eric Zane sex agent, but now you're helping facilitate her car problems. The show literally solves all her problems. Solves real problems. She writes, it's not common like a Ford fuck faces, so Ashley is now attacking people who are busting her balls. Size of the problem. Linda says, easy. Aaron says, and shitting on Ford owners. Come on. She says, not at all. I said Ford is common. Then Aaron says, JK. You seem poor and insecure, she says. JK. Oh, my God. All right. That escalated quickly. Kenny writes, hey, if you have a decent, reliable car for transportation, you're doing better than a lot of people in this world right now. I don't know about that. That should say, hey, if you have a decent and reliable car for transportation, you're doing better than a lot of people in my apartment complex right now. Ow! That is my time. Thank you for being here. I'll check you out on Patreon. Till next time, bye-bye.